Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Here to do the unboxing for the new Nokia 6. Now, the Nokia 6 was unveiled at the beginning of 2017 along with two other devices that are coming from Nokia as well. So you got the Nokia 3, the Nokia 5, and the Nokia 6 here. Now, the Nokia 3, obviously that is more so of the entry-level device. The Nokia 5 is just kind of like a cross between, you know, 3 and the 6. Or the 3 and the 6, and then we've got the actual Nokia 6 here, which is their mid-range device. Now I know that they're also working on the Nokia 8, according to sources. The Nokia 8 is supposed to be, you know, the Nokia flagship. Supposedly, it's going to have the Snapdragon 835 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, you know, big cameras with all the bells and whistles and all that kind of thing. So stay tuned for that. According to sources, that's supposed to be coming very soon. So definitely interested in that as well. Now, I'm hyped about this video because I have yet to have unboxed any Nokia devices. I'm a big fan of Nokia devices. You know, back in the day when they were voice stream and they were just basically the phone that everybody and their mother had, the 3310. And I know that they brought that back earlier this year too, just kind of like a, you know, reminiscent type of device, I guess. But why not? You know, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't need smartphones. I mean, so I think that would be a great option for somebody that doesn't necessarily need a smartphone. They just want a phone that they can talk and text on. Yeah, just over the years, you know, I had that phone for years, and then, you know, Nokia kind of ventured off and partnered with Microsoft, and, you know, they were doing a lot of the Windows devices. I had the Nokia 1520. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys remember that phone. It was a big ass 6-inch device, 23 megapixel camera. I think it was like a 12 or 13 megapixel camera on the front. It was pretty solid, but it was massive, you know, but it was solid. It was red. I had the red one, and it was dope. You know, but things didn't quite pan out, you know, with Nokia and Microsoft. I don't know all the details, and so I don't want to sit here and make it seem like there was an understanding or there was like some beef or something that caused the split. Or maybe it was just, you know, Nokia, you know, fulfilled their contract with Microsoft and decided to venture off. So now they're rocking with Android. Sucks for Windows operating system. I just read something last week that Microsoft has announced that they are no longer going to offer support for Windows 10 mobile OS, which I really feel like that's unfortunate, because I think that Windows 10 is a good operating system. It definitely just needs a little more attention. But I think if they were willing to pay that attention to it, it can be a heavy hitter, just like Android and Apple iOS. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know, maybe this is something that Nokia saw coming, and they were just like, hey, you know, if we're going to jump ship, we need to do it now. And so basically they've hopped on the Android bandwagon. So here we've got the Android versions, Nokia 6 here, right here. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox it for you real quick. Now, I've already taken out of the box earlier. You know, the suspense was killing me. I didn't get a chance to do the video, you know, right when I got it, because I had a bunch of things going on. And so, of course, I had to take it out and play with it. So basically, here's the device right here. Very beautiful, premium feeling device. And then, you know, you get the charging brick, the USB cable. Now, unfortunately, there's no Type-C, so that's a little bit of a downer, you know, but, you know, it's not really a big deal because, you know, again, this is a mid-range device. And so, you know, from a mid-range device, you can't expect there to be all the bells and whistles. And then, of course, you do get the SIM ejection tool, and you get the Nokia Get Started Nokia 6 Startup Guide. So I'll go ahead and file all that stuff to the side here. And I'm a big fan of the presentation as well. If you take a look at the box that it's in, I mean, look at this. I mean, this is clever. You know, I like that. You know, you got, you know, joint hands, giving each other dap, letting them know that it's all love, ain't no problem, ain't no beef. You know what I'm saying? Unity, togetherness. I like that. Nokia 6 on the side of the box, Android little emblem right there. Now, really quickly, the specs are on the back of the box here. We've got a full aluminum unibody display. I don't need to read that. You know, when you're a viewer and you just look over some specs a few times, you just memorize it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we've got a a 5.5 full HD display. Okay, we've got a full unibody aluminum or metal design, very, very premium built. You know, this phone it feels really good in the hand. This is the matte black. You can get this phone in the color variants. Where's that at? I got my cheat sheet here. You can get it in art black, matte black, which is what this is, tempered blue, silver, and copper. Now, I'm not tripping over this particular color scheme because, as you guys already know, all black everything, no racist. All right, now back to it. 5.5 inch full HD display. Okay, we've got an octa-core CPU. We've got a Snapdragon 430 processor. We've got 3 gigs of RAM, and we've got 32 gigs of onboard storage. All right, we've got an 8 megapixel selfie camera to the rear. We've got a 16 megapixel rear facing camera. All right, we do have a fingerprint sensor right here that is pretty snappy. But unfortunately, when I set this thing up, so interestingly enough, so the phone is already set up, but when I set it up, when I set up the fingerprint, the phone will always ask you if you want a backup source of security, you know, a PIN, a password, a passcode of some form. And so it was worded a little differently. So it said fingerprint plus PIN. And so I thought that it was going to have the same functionality as a lot of the other Android devices. But unfortunately, I misunderstood. And so you can see my fingerprint brings up the lock screen. But when you swipe up, you still have to enter a PIN. Now, I know that there's a way to disable that and just have it to where, you know, my fingerprint will fully unlock the device without me having to tap in my PIN number. But I've yet to have found out how to do that. And don't have a lot of time to waste on it right now to figure it out, but I will figure it out and I will address that in the full review. Real quick, we'll just take a look at the cosmetics. Beautiful, beautiful premium design on this phone. Again, we've got the 5.5 full HD display. We've got the receiver here at the top. Here's our 8 megapixel selfie camera. I'll go ahead and zoom in. You can see there's a little Nokia branding right there to the right at the top. You know, I like that. I like the way that looks. You can go ahead and focus on that right there. All right. Bottom of the device, you see we've got touch capacitive buttons. We've got the fingerprint sensor right there that also doubles as the home button as well. Now, swinging around to the right of the phone, we've got the power button and the volume rockers. Now, some may argue that the buttons don't protrude as much as they should. You know, some people may feel as though these buttons are hard to press. I don't find that to be a problem at all. I mean, I can definitely feel the buttons. I'm a fan of the fact that the buttons are all on the right side. So, you know, although I'm a lefty, I'm very ambidextrous. I usually always hold my phone in my right hand. I mean, it just feels more natural to do so. It actually feels awkward to hold the phone in my left hand, considering that I'm a lefty. So I do like the fact that all the buttons are on the right side of the device. Phone is nice and grippy. Buttons give off a nice tactile response, very responsive. You can see there's just a little bit of a curve going around from the back to the sides. The edges are rounded, so it's not like you're gonna have just like a sharp corner digging into the palm of your hand, you know, like the XZ Premium here. Now, I don't mind the XZ Premium's build. I'm a fan of it. You know, I've got my little rubber TPU case on it. Some people have said holding the device, they get like a mark in their hand right here, and I can understand how that can happen, but I haven't had that experience. So, you know, different experiences for different folks with different devices. But you're not going to have that issue here with the Nokia 6 because, as you can see, the edges are rounded. Now, moving to the top of the device, we've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. That is important to note nowadays. We've got a noise canceling microphone right there, or not microphone, but we've got the antenna line right there. To the left of the phone, here is the SIM tray where it does support dual nano SIM cards, and so that's cool. You can put 2 SIMs in it, and you can expand the storage up to 256 gigs. Actually, you know what? I think it's expand the storage up to 128 gigs. Do your homework on that one. It's either 128 gigs or 256 gigs. It's one or the other. Okay, now on the bottom of the device, we've got a noise canceling microphone. We've got a micro USB port here for charging. Now, even though this is a This is a micro USB 2.0. They do have a fast charging technology that's called USB on the go. And so I'm not exactly sure how fast the battery charges from 0 to 100, but it does have fast charging capabilities. Now, okay, so swinging around to the back of the device, we've got this beautiful matte black finish. You can see there's a couple of little finger smudges right there, but it's not really that big of a fingerprint magnet like a lot of other devices are, especially devices that are made of glass, you know. So this is a metal, all metal or aluminum unibody, and so it's pretty good on fingerprints. Now, I definitely want to recommend getting a case, even though this does seem to be very durably built. You still want to protect your investment. Oh, and there's a little noise canceling microphone right there on the top of the camera. I didn't really see that when I was looking at the top of the phone. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys can see a little dot right there, right above the camera. And this is our 16 megapixel rear facing camera with LED flash. Okay, now, again, as I mentioned, this phone is rocking Android Nougat 7.1.1 fresh out of the box, and so that is the latest software from Android right now, so that's definitely a good look. And we are rocking let's see, got my little cheat sheet right here. We've got an Adreno 505 and we've got a 403 PPI pixel density for all the techies. We've got Corning Gorilla Glass 3 here on the front. Okay, now really quickly, as you turn on the screen, let me go ahead and unlock the device. This phone out of the box is running on the Pixel launcher. Okay, now this is the Amazon version of this particular device. Okay, so I want to make that very clear really quickly. You do have two options. You've got the regular US version, which that's going to cost you $229.99, and then you've got the Amazon ad version right here that's going to cost you $179.99. So with taxes, I paid $197.26, so a little under $200 for this device. That is an excellent deal. I love the fact that Amazon is partnering with these OEMs, offering ad versions of phones, selling them at discounted prices. Again, you're getting the same device, the same specs, same features and functionality. All you're doing is you're just getting ads on the lock screen, and they can be easily swiped away. A lot of the Amazon bloatware that comes on the device can be disabled or uninstalled. And it's actually not bad. I mean, you know, out of 32 gigs, only 10 gigs are utilized. Just due to all the applications. And so if you want to free up some more space, then you probably want to, you know, go ahead and disable a lot of these Amazon apps. And it's not very intrusive. This is pretty much a stock Android experience. As you can see, if you swipe down, that's going to bring up your notification shade and all your quick toggles. Then if you swipe down again, you've got full access to your toggles. We've got the little edit icon right there, options, and then this little arrow brings the screen back up. So let's take the options. And it's just your typical Android Nougat setup. We do have NFC on this device for all you individuals that like to transfer data. There is NFC right there. UFC, God, I'm thinking about this Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor thing. But we do have NFC. For everyone that likes to transfer data wirelessly or use mobile pay. You do have the option to do that on this particular device. And, you know, standard settings, we do have a few little gestures. Well, we've got one gesture, which is jump to camera by double pressing the power button, which is right here. So you click that really quickly twice and it unveils the camera. And we've got motion gestures, which is if your phone is just sitting on the desk or whatever you've got it sitting on and you get a phone call, if you want to mute that phone call, just turn the phone over on its face. You can mute on pickup, and it gives you a tutorial how to use the motions. And so those are the only motions that you've got there. And again, just your typical Android settings. Now we do have an Amazon setting because this is the Prime variant of this device with ads, and so you do have to sign into your Amazon account if you've got one. If not, then you've got to create one to be able to access the phone. And a lot of the ads that pop up, basically from my experience, it remembers like a lot of things that you've ordered, and so it puts up on the lock screen a lot of things that it feels you may be interested in. And so I don't really find it to be all that intrusive. You know, you guys may feel differently, but the fact is, I mean, you can go ahead and disable those applications if you don't want them there. A lot of the stuff on the lock screen, again, if you're not feeling it, then you just simply swipe it away. It's just as simple as that. That's it. All right. Now, the capacitive button right here, it is the fingerprint sensor, and it does double as the home button. So if you do the long press on it, it's going to bring up your Google Assistant, and then you can press it again to go back. Again, as I mentioned, this is running the Pixel launcher, so there's no physical button for the app tray, but if you want to access the app tray, you see a little arrow right there. You just simply swipe up, and that gives you access to all of your applications. Okay, so I like that. And to get back to your home screen, you just swipe back down, and you'll notice here at the top, these are going to be the most recent apps that you used. And so, you know, it stops you from having to go, you know, scroll all the way back through, you know, at your application. Say an app that you used was all the way at the bottom. Well, like I just recently used settings, so then when I go to it, then settings is up there in the recently used app line, or this little row of applications right here. So that's pretty convenient. And let's see. Let me go to my gallery. All right, y'all. So this is a picture that I took of the box of the device. And, you know, again, as I mentioned, this is a 16 megapixel shooter on the rear. That's a damn good photo right there. You know, I find it very interesting that the cameras on a lot of these, you know, budget devices, they're really good. They're very good. And then let's go back, and this is a selfie that I took with the front-facing camera. Now, the camera on the G6, for whatever reason, is making this photo appear to be brighter than what it really is. It's not that bright. It's very natural looking. And this is from the 8 megapixel sensor on the front of the device. So in my opinion, you know, we got two solid cameras. I can't wait to get these cameras out in the open and get some still shots, get some video footage to put together for the full pristine review to have for you guys in a little bit. Now, I am testing multiple devices at the same time. Well, I don't necessarily want to say at the same time, because normally when I'm testing one, then I rock with that until I'm done testing it, and then I move on to the next one. So the full pristine review may take a little longer to get out, just because currently I've got my SIM card and I'm using my Sony Xperia XZ Premium here as my daily driver. And so I'm trying to really, you know, get this phone put through its paces and learn as much about it as I can, putting together the pristine review for that. And then I'm going to be working on the Alcatel Idol 5S, which is another phone that I got from Amazon at a great deal a few days ago. And I'm probably going to do a comparison between those two phones. Just, you know, they're two, you know, prime variants to add versions of devices that are really good in my opinion. So I'll probably do a comparison side by side with those two devices. So stay tuned for that, you guys. But in the meantime, you know, that's all that I've got for you right now. This is the Nokia 6, just unveiled this year in 2017. It was released over in Europe and other areas in the country. It just touched down in the US a few days ago, and I'm glad that it did. And, you know, it's good to see Nokia, you know, making another push to regain some relevancy in the smartphone world. So you guys already know this is all I got for you right now. Please stay safe. Definitely stay safe. Stay blessed. Get spiritually fit. Get your life right with Christ if you haven't already, because we're definitely living in the last days. And just look at all the horrible things that are going on in the world. I mean, it's confirmation on a daily basis that we are definitely living in the last days. So get your life right with Christ. Know that if you were to die right now, if death were to creep around some unsuspecting corner, know that your soul is going to rest in the heavens with the Almighty. Okay, and not the opposite of that. All right. And definitely, y'all, stay pristine in every aspect of your lives, okay? This is the Nokia 6. I'm your man, Pristine. We out. Until the next video. Peace.